Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. So at this point, Jurassic World has become somewhat of a divisive film. I think it started off positive, and then, like most positive, fun things seem to do, people turned on it, and I think it has gotten a little bit of a bad reputation. I think people generally are meh toward the first Jurassic World. So although it made a boatload of money, it's interesting to head into this film with much lower expectation. And the trailers were fine. I thought the first trailer was kind of fun. The second one we filled out a little bit more and it's okay. And then the last one didn't really sell me as much. So the trailers have progressively kind of lessened my enthusiasm and excitement. But I love dinosaurs. And each and every time we get a new Jurassic film, call me stupid, but I'm always excited to see it. And I thought this one was good. I think it was a solid entry within the franchise. Personally, I don't think it's as good as Jurassic World, but I think it is solid. So let's go ahead and talk about the positives. So Chris Pratt is still great in this role. He's just as charismatic, just as endearing as he was in the first, as he is in pretty much everything he ever stars in. He pulls off the action really well. His humor is the best humor within the film. I thought he was great. I thought Bryce Dallas Howard was fine. She was about as good as she was in the first film. So nothing really to compare there, but I do think that the two younger people in this film far surpass the two children of the first film, and I think the little girl actually as an actor worked better. I don't know about her character itself, but we'll get to that later. However, I did like the two kind of sidekicks that come along on the adventure. I thought they had some fun moments, some funny lines. Sometimes they are definitely only plot conveniences, and actually we're going to circle back around to that in just a little bit when we hit negatives on this film. But what I really loved was Blue getting to be an actual character. Sometimes I think it went a little bit into cheese factor, but being an animal lover myself, I thought it mostly worked. It pulled up my heartstrings, and I like seeing Blue get her own development, and seeing her as a baby and seeing that connection, and really that connection with Blue being a major core to the film, I think really added some sort of gravitas and emotional pull. I also think the baseline idea is interesting, speaking on whether genetically modified or created beings have rights. Do we protect them like we protect actual animals and endangered species that are already here? It's a very interesting concept to start off with, and again, I think it's hit home really well. J.A. Bayona does a very good job as director here. One of the best scenes is when we're pulling away from the island and we see this long neck off in the distance, and it is just a beautiful but haunting scene as this island pretty much goes up in smoke. And it's much more haunting than even seeing the dinosaurs jumping off the ledge for their lives. The scene was so beautifully executed. It really was like a show-stopping moment within the film for me, and really kind of added some fuel to an otherwise underdeveloped and underbaked debate. I think everything that happens on that island is really good. It's really fun. And I really enjoyed that we went back to horror in this film. We had that homage back to the very first Jurassic Park, and we added back in those horror thriller elements, and I thought they were done expertly well. So J.A. Bayona directed this horror-tinged Jurassic film once again that had beautiful shots, and I think that's where he really shined. Is the imagery within this film is gorgeous. The shot selection, the shot composition, the camera, the focus within the camera and within the picture, all was done beautifully well and gave it all a bit of an artistic flair that I think was actually missing in Jurassic World itself. Visually, it just had a lot more depth, and I think that's a great testament to Bayona as the director. Now we're going to segue and do a middle ground between positives and segue into negatives with special effects, because I think that really wanes in and out of the positives and negatives in this film. Sometimes the special effects look wonderful. The texture on the skin of the dinosaurs is great. And when we get some of these personal moments, the dinosaurs look fantastic. And some of the scenery and the skyscraper business all looks wonderful in this movie. Other times, the CGI is terrible. The dinosaurs look very cartoonish, especially when they are part of a backdrop, like a green screeny looking backdrop, or we see them up against more CGI in the background. It just didn't really work. And the plot itself doesn't really resonate with me. It doesn't really work for me because it's such a recycled mixture between Jurassic World and The Lost World from the original trilogy. It's like a perfect mashup between those two films. And honestly, if you're going to do another genetically modified dinosaur, I needed it to be more different than the first genetically modified dinosaur you presented in the last film. I needed it to be superior in more ways, because really, this kind of just felt like a smaller version of the first one. It wasn't very different. It didn't seem all that smarter or all that more stealth or sleek than the first Indominus Rex did in the first film. So it seemed almost like a downgrade, to be honest. So it looked cool, but I'm kind of over the genetically modified dinosaur bit. I want to get back to actual dinosaurs here. And really just the whole plot with the villain and capitalism, it was just so reminiscent of that first one. It was so transparent from the word go. You saw where it was coming, you saw where it was going, and pretty much went there. So the villain was really weak. And really, the script in general was really weak. The storytelling unfolded really clunky. And then we get to the conveniences of the script, and they are everywhere. Doors open at just the nick of time. You move right before you're got in. Other dinosaurs randomly appear right when you need them on cue. It's just convenience after convenience after convenience. People doing stupid things. Our story is allowed to progress throughout thanks to a bunch of magical conveniences sprayed in. Not even sprinkled in throughout. They're just like sprayed all over the script to help get us from point A to point B. Also, there's a big like reveal in the film that didn't really hold much weight or resonance with me. We didn't really care enough about the character involved to care much about that. So overall, I definitely still prefer Jurassic World. I had a lot more fun with it. I loved the theme park idea. And I think it is a more solid film, if I'm being honest. So while I think Fallen Kingdom does take more risks and tries a little bit of different things, this script is so clunky. And I just kind of was underwhelmed by all of the people parts that I'm going to give Fallen Kingdom a matinee. I think it looks cool enough. There's enough dinosaur thrills in here to keep you entertained for the 2-hour, 10-minute runtime. But I think if you liked the first Jurassic World, you're going to have a lot of fun with this one as well. However, if you didn't like Jurassic World, I don't think you're going to like this one all that much either. So, honestly, this could probably be a rental for you if you didn't have fun with Jurassic World, because I do think it's right in line with that film, in particular when it comes to quality. And make sure you stay all the way through, because there actually is an end credit sequence, and it's a fun little teaser end credit sequence that kind of helps to start painting out what the worlds may be for the third installment. So, that is my review of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? And which is your favorite of all of the Jurassic Park sequels? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!